The first incidence of COVID-19 was discovered in China's Wuhan, China, years ago. Lockdowns began in our country on March 11, 2020 with the expectation that they would only last 2 weeks. However, look at us now. We are still limited to our homes and the first lockdown will be 2 years old on March 11, 2022. According to the government, many people have lost their employment because of the COVID-19. Many malls and other businesses have closed, many people have died, many people have become ill, and there are many more. Fortunately, on December 11, 2020, scientists, doctors, and other healthcare professionals collaborated to develop the first vaccine, known as Pfizer. Many individuals have issues on their thoughts, but one of the most significant is whether or not vaccination should be made mandatory in the Philippines. In our debate, we will discuss the question of whether or not vaccination should be made mandatory. Is it really necessary to make vaccinations mandatory or should they be optional? Before anything else, let me introduce the speakers. Starting with me as the mediator, the affirmative side will be addressed by Frankie Melman Lapas and John Sebastian Manabat. And the opposing side will be defended by Joy Divine Rico Hermoso and John Christian Gomez.
It took 50 years of discussions, testing, and trials for scientists to assist us in developing a better understanding of coronaviruses and finding a simple solution to these challenges. However, a large number of people refused to be vaccinated in any way, claiming that it was harmful, and instead began spreading false rumors and wrong information. Vaccination should be made necessary and adopted as soon as possible for two reasons. First, it is safe and effective. Second, it reduces the rate of morbidity and mortality associated with diseases. Vaccines are used to release antibodies into the body which will boost your immune system in fighting diseases. Rumors concerning of how COVID-19 vaccines are unsafe and that getting vaccinated will turn you into a monster are completely baseless and unreasonable. However, in reality, some particular cancer patients are now permitted to participate and have already got their vaccination dosage. The majority of the vaccine side effects are short-term such as fatigue, headaches, muscle pain, and a fever. When you are vaccinated, you reduce the risk of catching an infection and spreading it to others. According to studies conducted by the CDC, unvaccinated people are accountable for 99.5% of COVID-19 deaths. Because the virus progressively mutates into stronger versions like as Omicron, Delta, Alpha, and Beta, unprotected people are at much greater risk than those who have received a vaccination. Thus, if your body is not strong or healthy enough, you may become infected with the bacteria or the virus. Getting the vaccine, on the other hand, protects you because the antibodies produced by the vaccine provide a layer of protection for your body's ability to fight the coronavirus infection. It also has added the benefit of weakening the virus so that if you do contract it, your symptoms will not be severe as they could otherwise be. Each of us has a little but important role to play in maintaining the health of our community. The good news is that if a small fraction of the population will unite and form a circle to get vaccinated, we can travel around with confidence knowing that we are protected from harm. After gaining some control over the situation, we must maintain our vigilance since even if face masks, alcohol, hand sanitizers, and face shields are made available, they will not be sufficient to stop the pandemic. Because the sooner everyone is vaccinated and under control, the sooner we can put an end to the pandemic and restore normality to the country.
I agree with the findings of the vaccine study that spanned 50 years. But why do this COVID-19 vaccine that is now in use have been evaluated for less than 1 year? That is why some people may not be convinced to get it and may be also concerned about the negative consequences it will have on their bodies. First and foremost, we are not all in the same health condition. Some group of people have their ailment worsened and even died as a result of the vaccine. Second, there are some people who are not permitted to receive vaccinations. Instead of helping them, the vaccine caused their immune system to become weak. There are also noted serious side effects like blood clotting that had been discovered related to the vaccine. If the vaccine is against the virus, how are we going to handle the virus that keeps mutating into different strains like COVID-19 beta, delta, and Omicron, which became more contagious as time goes on. Now, we are also vaccinating people as early as 5 years old. There is not much studies whether these children can handle the side effects or adverse reaction from the vaccine. Besides, people also have the right whether they will get the vaccine or not. They can still follow the rules and protocol from the government to avoid the spreading of virus while still exercising their rights to decide what kind of medicine, treatments, or substance they will inject to their bodies. At the end of the day, if something will happen to them or their bodies due to the vaccine, what will the government do? Will the government answer for it? In terms of the argument that public health is priority, people who do not take the vaccine can just required to follow specific protocols instead of pushing them to take the vaccine. As for the government, instead of focusing on buying vaccine and forcing them on people, it should just enhance proper protocols and make better healthcare facilities for the public. In addition, they should make programs to improve people's immune system. This is more long-term solution than buying vaccine for virus that keeps changing and will require booster shot and further studies again and again.
The COVID-19 vaccination are just beneficial not just to ourselves but also to the other individuals. This also contributes to a reduction in the number of cases and deaths caused by the virus, according to my research and conclusion on how it can help minimize instances and fatalities from the virus. The COVID-19 vaccines protects against the viruses that cause cold, flu, and RSV, and other respiratory illness. Furthermore, this serves to keep people from coming into contact with someone who has contagious illness. When enough people are vaccinated to provide herd immunity for the entire population, including to those who are unable to be vaccinated due to medical reasons or who have never been vaccinated, still, everyone benefits. Another point in our stand, vaccine is a moral responsibility. Imagine the guilt of affecting a child, an elderly, an adult due to your principle that you are just having a personal choice of not having one. I recognize the fact that it's not in any way an ethical duty. Generally, in times of having no way out and its impact worsen, wouldn't you take the wiser way? Furthermore, our country, Philippines, has only limited intervention of reducing the cases of coronavirus. To be specific, the vaccine is one of the most effective we can apply to in order to contribute to put an end into a pandemic. I believe one of your reasons is that people varies. As you can see, the COVID-19 vaccines have significantly reduced the number of cases here in the Philippines.
I agree with the statement that COVID-19 vaccination are beneficial, not just to ourselves, but also to other individuals. However, how can COVID-19 vaccination be made available to people who are suffering from a medical condition? That's why individuals are concerned that the vaccine negative side effect would be detrimental to their health. According to my research, COVID-19 vaccination can be fatal for individuals who have weak immune system and are other health issues. But if we don't get the vaccine, how can we prevent the virus from spreading? In order to protect oneself, we must adhere to the fundamental protocols. Put on a face mask before venturing outside. Follow social distancing. Stay away from busy areas. And bring alcohol with you. For me, vaccine is simply an option because it assists in the strengthening of our immune system, but for the others, it is a life-threatening risk that they must take. As a result, staying at home and taking vitamins on a daily basis to enhance our immune system would be preferable.
Vaccines work by releasing antibodies into the body, boosting the immune system. The vaccine's most common side effects include weariness, headaches, muscle soreness, and fever. Unvaccinated people are responsible for 99.5% of COVID-19 deaths. Vaccines in use today have been tested for less than a year. This is why some individuals dislike it and fear the bad effects it will have on their bodies. The vaccine weakens their immune system instead of treating them. So if it is a virus vaccination, how can it mutate and proliferate other viruses that get more contagious over time? In contrary, some people claim that they benefit from herd immunity when enough people are vaccinated. Thus, the researchers showed that COVID-19 vaccines can be lethal for people with poor immune system and other health conditions. On some, vaccines are a choice, since they help improve our immune system, but for others, they are a life-threatening risk. The outcome of the debate on whether vaccines should be mandated or not was good, because all of the speakers were able to handle and defend their own points of view in a professional and clear manner. They all have well thought out responses and are well versed in the subject matter. In both cases, individuals who agree and those who disagree were able to state facts in a correct manner. As a result, I am now bringing this argument to a close because all parties have already spoken.